Thank you so much, Steph. Our top story this morning, the ongoing anti-ICE demonstrations. So yesterday, hundreds of people gathered outside downtown L.A. for a peaceful protest. But then hours later, there were confrontations outside the federal detention center. NBC4's Camila Rambaldi tracking the overnight developments and the stern warning from the president. Camila, good morning.
Hi, Michelle. Good morning. As you just mentioned, things escalated when people showed up outside the federal detention center in downtown LA. And we have learned that at least 24 people have been detained in anti-ICE protests in LA. Let's get you straight to some video from yesterday when News Chopper 4 was overhead. It was after 5 in the afternoon yesterday when federal agents moved onto Alameda Street, pushing back protesters there, grabbing one person and leading them back towards the federal detention center. Hours later, protesters could also be seen on the steps of LA City Hall. According to the LAPD, Spring Street was closed between Temple and First because of the demonstrations taking place in the area. It was around 6 in the evening when the LAPD says that Alameda Street between Aliso and Temple were closed off in both directions. Then at about 9:15 in the evening, the LAPD declared a dispersal order for an unlawful assembly. Protesters could be seen clashing there with the LAPD by the federal building. Yesterday's demonstrations in downtown LA were part of a nationwide day of action against ICE. And here's more from some of the protesters yesterday in downtown LA.
You see what's going on in Minneapolis and what ICE is doing across the country. How do you feel?
I don't know how many times my wife and I have looked at clips of what's happening in Minneapolis and just break into tears. It's after the tears comes the anger. I'm furious.
Again, numerous road closures were in effect yesterday due to the demonstrations in downtown LA. President Trump is commenting on the federal response to protests happening in cities like Los Angeles. He posted as saying in part, quote, "I have instructed Secretary of Homeland Security Kristi Noem that under no circumstances are we going to participate in various poorly run Democrat cities with regard to their protests and or riots unless and until they ask us for help. We will, however, guard and very powerfully so any and all federal buildings that are being attacked," end quote. And we've also learned that there is another protest planned for today at the Cypress Park Home Depot, and that protest is expected to start at noon. Reporting live for today in LA, I'm Camila Rambaldi. Michelle, I'll send it back to you.